I just wanted to make one more comment about around the kind of the emotional toll of the violence. We admitted 5 people before 2 o'clock shot today. That's nuts. That there is so much violence in the city and in the state, and it's just, we really pride ourselves on doing a good job, and we do a good job. This is out of control. It's so demoralizing to do this day after day after day.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, coming at you to tell you a little piece of my mind. Just the other day, I had a video that came out. There was a lot of movement and a lot of people had some opinions. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about just to give you an update on everything that's going on. Make sure that you subscribe. Love to hear your comments. Always, it's a pleasure to be in your presence. So here we go. First of all, 2 officers walked up on an event. That's what I'll call it, an event. Some people might think that Dominique Lamarr Lewis was just a violent man that should be dealt with. He was just charged with attempted first-degree and second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and use of a firearm. Now, I've gotten a little information from around because I've done a little research. My sources tell me that this young man grew up in a household with a mother that was schizophrenic, and that his grandmother raised him for most of his life. And they say that he has some issues with mental health also. I told everybody from the get-go that it had to be something more than that. A man is just not going to be sitting out on an electric box and then all of a sudden just start shooting. Something had to be wrong. And I hope that this young man gets some help. For the 2 officers, Mr. Snyder and Kowalski, I just hope and pray that they come back with a full bill of health. Now, they were released the night of the situation and they were back at home. Those shots are going to probably affect them for the rest of their life. Now, let's get to some other issues that were brought up. Now, people were upset about me saying something about South America. I meant to say South of America, but it doesn't matter. Now, we got to be very honest. People are upset that I was talking about the community. Now, let's just be real. People, if you don't know about regentification, then you would keep on being upset with me. This is not about me. I just moved here in 2007. This problem has been developing since then. The problem is what's going to happen. And yes, there are more than Hispanics in that area. There are African Americans and there are Caucasians. But the problem is that the city is not putting enough money into that area. And what's going to end up happening is it's going to go up once things start coming into play, and those people will be displaced. Now, if you want to be mad at me, you got to really look at what's going on all the way around there. Behind Taco Bell and Hillcrest area, all the way back behind Key Parkway, all the way in that little circle, there's been a lot of action going on there. Now, for people that are living there, anytime you see an area has a high percentage of people renting properties, whether apartments or homes, there is a problem. And what is that problem? Is that people aren't invested into the community. So what's going to end up happening? As soon as some big businesses come in there and they start to really bring it up, which is regentification, those people will all be priced out. Now you say, how will they price them out? Well, this is how they do it. They go in and they make it be a very high credit check score. Then they'll go back and they'll look at different things, criminal behavior and all kinds of things, and they will eventually make it where people can't rent there. Prices will start to go up where people can't afford it. This is what's going to happen. You can get mad at me if you want to, but it's still not going to change what's really about to happen. People are always trying to make this about a much bigger thing. And yes, this was an African American male. I'm definitely not prejudiced on anybody, but what I will do is I will speak the truth. This young man had a problem, and we all know that. If this wasn't a problem, the information about this Dominique would have came out long time ago. Look at the situation on 26. Information was flying very quickly because it was very straightforward. This one here, you're not hearing very much about Dominique. Why not? Because they must realize that he has some type of mental health, so they want to cover all of their bases in the investigation. They can't give a bunch of information out there because people will start looking at whether or not this young man really had a mental health problem and if the officers approached the situation correctly. Now, from what I understand, the officers tried to do their best. They did not have their guns drawn from the get-go. So that lets me know that they approached the situation not in violence. Within today's society, anytime you approach something that is a mental health problem, it is going to get scrutinized. And I think that's the reason why it's taken so long for this case to be exposed into the media. Nobody's really saying anything. It's very quiet. No pictures have been shown of this young man, Dominique Lewis, and there's a reason why. It's something going on, and they're not telling us because they want to make sure that they have all the information before they throw it out there. So, you can be upset with me if you want to about looking at the community in which this happened. But those officers didn't make it there till probably about 10 minutes. Some people even say 15 minutes. It's too far out there. There's not a big police push out there. That's what I was bringing attention to. Not the fact that it was just Hispanics and blacks out there. It's just the community is not really being looked at very closely. And when they normally do that, it's because they are allowing that community to go down. You can say what you want to say, but I'm David Brooks, and I'm going to always tell you a piece of my mind. Take it easy.